There's three things about forward-facing sonar that I've found out that anglers believe to be true. They could not be farther from the truth. That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Forward-facing sonar. I know you want another forward-facing sonar video, don't you? I haven't done many of them, so let me get my piece in it. I know this is a highly contentious subject. I know it's one that pretty much everybody has drawn their line in the sand and decided I'm either for it or I'm against it. I just want to break down these three falsehoods, these three myths that I keep hearing repeated, because I think everybody deserves to know at least the truth. Let's talk about myth number one. One of the things that I notice people really have a misconception of. Listen, it's a lie. They tell you got to have $20,000 in order to be able to have electronics on your boat so you can catch more fish. That's not the truth, guys. It's really not the truth. Now, I just worked up to the level, keep in mind, I fish for a living. I just worked up to the level where I do have 4 graphs on my boat. Still doesn't cost $20,000. I'm not going to sit here and act like there is not a monetary investment when it comes to fishing electronics, but you don't need $20,000 to be able to have fishing electronics and catch fish with it. You probably are a lot closer to being able to afford the electronics that you think you need to catch more fish than you know. It's the cell phone that you're probably watching this video on, the TV, the smart TV that you're watching this video on, is you're getting close. Let's fact check this. So I'm just going to go here to the search bar on omniafishing.com. Let's just type in Lowrance, see what we pull up. One of the things people are going to tell you that you need 3, 4, 5 graphs to be competitive at forward-facing sonar fishing. That's proven not to be true. In fact, what I consider to be the best guy at forward-facing sonar fishing is Drew Gill. He's one of the only anglers that I know that does it, bar none. I don't care where we go. I don't care what the fish are doing. I don't care what the season is. He's committed to forward-facing sonar. He has learned that skill to a T. The best competitive angler that there is. He has 1 transducer on the front. So if you believe that you need 3, 4, 5 transducers, it might be a little bit of an insecurity there, because it's been proven that 1 transducer is all you need to be really good at it. We'll look at, listen, if you don't have any electronics, none of us start out, well, maybe some people do, but you don't have to start out at a 12-inch screen. We're going to look at an HDS 9. I have one of these on one of my boats. HDS 9 is $2,100. That is a full, that's a 9-inch screen. It comes with an active 3-in-1 transducer. Let's see. That is, with no transducer, is $2,000. If you get the active 3-in-1, it's $2,100. So let's write that down. So if we get HDS 9 with the transducer, this will allow us to have side imaging as well. You're gonna have $21.99 tied up in that. Okay, you know the figure that they said it costs to have forward-facing sonar. All right, let's go back. Now we need the active target 2 module. Go back to the site here. I'm just gonna type in the search bar on Omnia, active target 2. Let's see what we get here. Here's a bundle. That bundle comes with everything that we need for active target. Here's the bundle. It comes with the transducer. It is $16.49. Now this is all considering that you don't have any electronics. If you've already got current model electronics on it, you can just buy this bundle and you're gone, off to the races. That bundle is $16.49. Now let's do the math. I'm gonna do it right here on paper because I don't have my phone right here close to me. So A carry 1, 5, 6, 4, 13, 14 Carry the 1 again, 6, 8. Y'all still using that math nowadays? Carrying the 1, 3. You need $3,800. $3,800 is a long way from the $20,000 figure that you often hear thrown around when you say what you need to compete with in today's tournament market. You don't need $20,000 in electronics. You need about $4 grand and you're off to the races. Now this next thing I know is going to upset a lot of people because it's a hot topic right now since forward-facing sonar is pretty popular. There is a misconception, there's a myth around sonar ping and how it's affecting the fish that we're fishing for. Now, make sure you listen to this before y'all already in the comment section. Type it up, ain't you? I already know you are. Make sure you listen to this and understand exactly what I'm trying to explain. One really important thing that you need to understand about your forward-facing sonar is that the sound, sonar is sound, the sound from your transducer, it's not directional. I'm gonna try to explain it, what I'm talking about here, just a little bit more simple so everybody can understand it. All right, let me show you what's going on. I'm gonna try to draw this the best that I can. So most people believe, let me draw this. Now I don't care if you laugh at my drawing. So let's just pretend this little triangle is our boat. Usually everybody has a trolling motor on the front of their boat. And let's say you mark a fish out here. This is our little fish right here. It's our little Jesus fish. And we mark him out here at 40 foot. 40 foot in front of the boat. And what we believe happens is, let me get a different color marker if this one works. We believe there's a beam coming from our transducer that hits that fish, almost like a laser, like he hits that fish, and then it scares that fish off and he swims off. That's kind of what we think is going on when it's really not working that way. What's really happening, let me flip this cardboard over. What's really happening, if this is our boat again, we'll draw a triangle, trolling motor on the front. What's really happening when our sonar is pinging, it's actually sending out, it's actually sending out signals. Sound isn't directional from our sonar transducer. It's sending out sound everywhere and it's hitting a bunch of different objects. That sound is hitting trees, is hitting docks. Our transducer determines where we receive that sonar ping from. So let's say if there's a fish out here, this is our fish, Larry Largemouth. We'll call him Larry. Well, our sonar ping has hit everything around our boat that it can touch. But our little transducer only receives a return from the things it hits depending on where it's pointed. So the sonar ping isn't directional, but the reception of the return is directional. So wherever we point our transducer, if our transducer is pointed over here, and Larry's over here, we don't receive the return from that. Now how that's relevant is no matter where you point your transducer when you're fishing, it's not affecting whether you spook that fish or not. So you can have your transducer pointed to the left or to the right. If that fish is gonna spook, he's gonna spook because he's already heard that sound of the sonar pinging. So turning it away, what you think is away, is not doing anything. I'm not saying that fish aren't spooked by the sound of your transducer. What I am saying is when you move that transducer, it's not doing anything to affect the sound or feel that that fish has. If it's gonna spook him, it's gonna spook him. The next part that I'm about to talk about is where this conversation, I'll be completely honest with you, everything that I've told you so far has been factual. This is the part where I'm about to tell y'all my opinion, and it's not necessarily the gospel truth. This is just me sharing what I believe about forward-facing sonar. do whatever you want to with it. I don't think forward facing sonar is easy. I think just like any other thing in fishing, whether that's drop shotting, flipping, going down the bank, throwing top water plugs, frogs, whatever the case may be, I think forward facing sonar is a skill, just like all of those things are. I think it's a skill. I really do believe that. I don't think it's easy. It took me a while to learn how to line up with fish, learn how to guess what 50 or 60 foot is on a cast when you can't see anything. Now, when you're fishing around a dock or some timber or something, you got that visual and you can see, oh, the timber's right there. And if I cast at the timber, then I'll see my bait go down it's easier. But casting out at fish out in the open, that has not been really that easy for me. I don't think that's that easy. So I don't think forward facing sonar is easy. I do think it's a learned skill. What are your opinions on it? What do you think about forward facing sonar? Does it make fishing easier for you? Did you have to learn the skill? Where are you at on this? Where do you fall on the spectrum of this? So I have a little canary that sits on one side of my arm or my shoulder and says, forward facing sonar is good, leave it alone. And then there's this little bird on this side of my shoulder that says, forward facing sonar is ruining your life. So I literally am 50-50 on this. I have an emotional side of me with forward facing sonar that wants it to be like how it used to be and how I can relate to it. I can honestly admit I have been wrong about forward facing sonar. I didn't think it would dominate fishing the way it did. I thought it would show up at certain places at a certain time of the year and be unbeatable. But it's to the point where it's unbeatable everywhere, all the time. Not all the time, but 90% of the time, it's going to be a forward facing sonar event. I didn't know that was going to happen, and I was completely wrong about that. So like I was saying, there is an emotional part of me that wants or feel like I would be better off if there was some type of limitation, but I don't trust the emotional side of me, and I don't make decisions on the emotional side of me. Just because my emotions say that my life would be better if there were rules in place for my advantage, I don't trust that. The logical side of me won't let the emotional side make the decision. Even though I know there's probably been tournaments that I would have done better in had there been no forward facing sonar. The logical side of me, I can't let that influence my decision and my attitude towards forward facing sonar. It's hard for me to think that we need a ban on it because I know that is an emotional response because it's not benefiting me the way that it's benefiting other people. That's hard to say. That's hard to say. I know for a fact that there's been careers created only off of that transducer on the front of the trolling motor. I know that's for a fact. But it's not fair for me to say to take that away just because it created the opportunity for somebody else that didn't benefit me. It can benefit me. I've just got to learn how to use it for my advantage.